As I've been traveling a lot, I had a great privilege to come across different cultures. And what fascinated me really is that how we humanity can be very different by being very same. Let me ask you a question. Do we have anyone in the audience who is from another country besides Kazakhstan? Anyone? Yes, please. Can you make a sound of a dog? Thank you. Perfect. Now, can I ask someone from Kazakhstan to make a sound of a dog? We have here woof woof and there gov gov. But I was asking the same question. Make a sound of a dog. Now think. If we can interpret a simple bark of a dog so differently, how we people can interpret each other. Today, I want to talk to you about something both hilarious and slightly terrifying. How the same gesture, same innocent movement, and even a smile can have two opposite meaning, totally different meaning, depending on where you stand on the map. And that is the moment you realize language is only the surface. In some countries that I traveled to, making strong eye contact was the sign of confidence. In others, it felt really uncomfortable. In some countries, smiling at people is okay, even at strangers, while in others, a smile is intimate and reserved. So here you understand, we people are very different. And if something is different from your culture, this doesn't mean it's wrong, it simply works differently. Through my traveling to more than 20 countries, I had and taking part in 4 different international exchange programs, I understood something really powerful. Communication isn't really about language. It's something more deeper. It is about understanding, and more importantly, about connections. And these connections nowadays are different everywhere. That is the heart of my talk today, because we are all living at the crossroads of now, where ideas, personalities, identities, and cultures meet every day. Did you know that simple things are not simple? And that simple words are never simple. Here's an example. If you're in UK and someone tells you, we should have coffee sometimes, what do you think does that mean? It means you will not have a coffee. Probably you will never. But if you're in Norway and someone tells you, let's go and have some coffee, this means you are actually going to have that coffee. They are already checking their calendar and say, oh, Wednesday, 2 p.m. works perfectly. Another adventure is the word queue. In UK, queue is a piece of art. Straight lines, extreme silence, and politeness. While in Norway, if there is even a small space between you and the person before you, someone can just calmly step in between you two. And that's totally normal. It is not about being rude or showing disrespect. It's just how things work in Norway. The Norwegians are used to live with the flow of the universe, and they have the idea, first come, first served. These tiny moments make me understand that the words we say doesn't matter. What really matters, what are those words meaning inside the culture? And that misunderstandings aren't always deep or dramatic. Sometimes they're funny, and that is totally okay. We have to teach ourselves to laugh at ourselves. During my exchange semester at Singapore Management University, I was working on a group project with few Singaporean students. So one day, we were working on the project at the library, and I was sitting next to my teammate. I just wanted to start a polite, simple conversation, as we Eastern people do that, right? So I looked to her, smiled, and said, so have you been living in Singapore your whole life? Guess what? She turned back to me with a very serious face and said, "Not yet." And that was the moment I froze. I was thinking, what does that even mean? Did I say anything wrong? Or was it a philosophical answer? I was really confused and millions of thoughts were in my mind. But in order to not look stupid, I was pretending I understood what she said and what she meant. I looked back to her, gave her a soft smile and said, "Cool." Time passed. I learned more about the culture. I learned more about Singaporeans, and I understood that Singaporeans are extremely literal, and that small talk isn't really their thing. So for her, the answer "not yet" made a complete sense, because she haven't lived her whole life yet, right? She's only my age. Right now, moments like this help you to understand that we people are all different, and that's totally okay. Right now, we're living in 2025, where the world is really connected, but it is more confused. Here are some statistics. 6.5 million students are now studying abroad, and this is 3 times more than it used to be 20 years ago. 300 million people are now working outside of their home country, and 70% of global professionals claim that poor cross-cultural communication lead to failure at work. Think about that. Today, we can have a Zoom call with someone from Japan, a Slack message with someone from Brazil, and a cup of coffee with someone in Kazakhstan. And all of that in one same afternoon. Crazy, right? This is why I say we are really connected. But what we really have to learn is that our perfect English doesn't matter. I'm using my perfect English accent, but it doesn't matter. Your perfect English vocabulary doesn't matter. If you even read 500 books about the culture or being international on Instagram is not enough. Because we people have to learn how to deal with real people, how to connect with real people, not the stereotypes we see on social media or not the stereotypes we hear. Because only curiosity opens the doors. And here I want to mention that the real crossroads of now is actually not technology, that we are used to think about that. In reality, it is connection and understanding. So how do we communicate better across cultures? Any ideas? Okay, thank you. But this is what I learned through my experience and living in such confusion. I call them 3 key actions toward perfect or toward better cross-cultural communication. Step number 1, stop talking and start asking. Ask simple, open questions. If something is not understandable, just ask. You can ask, how does it work here? Or what does this gesture mean in your culture? That's okay, because you are curious, and this is the key to learn more. Second, trade your ego for 2 ears. Please, if you ask a question, don't prepare your next question. Or don't prepare what you are going to say next. Because we people are used to impress with our perfect language, with our perfect emotions and kind of vocabulary. So we are not doing the true listening. In our mind, we ask question, and then in our minds, we are creating the next question, or we are preparing the answer. But trust me, if you want to connect with people, only true listening will help to do that. And the last one, treat confusion as opportunity to learn. It's not a failure, or it's not a barrier for you. It is a sign that shows you you are very near to learn something new. And trust me, these 3 simple steps, very simple, right? Listen, ask, and don't pull back. Just ask questions. Simple steps, but they really work. Misunderstanding, as I mentioned previously, is okay. Sometimes we have to teach ourselves to laugh at ourselves. And I'm really happy that at such early age, I understood something really important that matters really. That we people don't need perfect words to connect with people. All we need is courage to try. When we are choosing curiosity instead of judgment, empathy instead of ego, and questions instead of assumptions, we turn every cross-cultural road and meeting into a meeting point. So the next time you're in a conversation where something feels unfamiliar or confusing, please don't pull back. Step forward. Ask questions. Be open. Be curious. Laugh if you need to. And more importantly, learn. Learn something new. Because at the crossroads of connection, that's where our people true understanding begins. Thank you.